really awesome.
Indeed. All right, so apparently the sound levels are good, and the game, basically perfect timing. Because we're going to get this going. Who do we have here, Gender?
We have Point Defense on the left,
Okay.
also known as Necrogan's team.
Right.
And on the right, it was posted in the game lobby, and it disappeared before I had time to memorize it. It has an L in it. Let me check the forum real quick. It will tell me everything that I need to know. DominateDominion.com, the website that's putting this on, also has a forum. Check it out. It's really really nice, really cool.
It's an excellent website for high Elo Dominion. I was checking it out all week because we did tournament number 1. And I believe you got those bands, or those VODs, right?
Yes, I have the VODs. You can find the VODs from that on youtube.com/VatoClan, as well as from the Dominate Dominion tournament number 0, which was months back, and some StarCraft 2 player interviews, if that's your sort of thing.
Well, we're going to focus here. And who's
Team LithP, or LithP. I'm going to go with LithP.
LithP.
That's going to be disasterific to say.
All right, so Point Defense and LithP quickly go through because I think they already had all these things planned out. That's why they're going so quickly. So we got a few minutes. Tell us, what is going on here?
Well, Point Defense, opting to ban Rammus, Wukong, and Urgot. Rammus, known for his mobility. He's a very difficult character to kill. He's also got, he's got the taunt, he's got the airborne. He's a very good disrupting character. Wukong's a very tanky champ. He's very mobile, so he gets banned a lot. Urgot is a very powerful bottom lane champion due to his range, so he gets banned a lot as well. Poppy has extremely good burst when played AP because of her mobility. Mobility is sort of the theme in Dominion, being able to be fast, being able to be quick, being able to move around the map, defend, cap, take advantage of, openings to back cap, things like that. And Poppy's burst when played AP is absolutely outrageous. Yorick has amazing sustained bottom, and he can sort of harass without having to actually get hit because his ghouls do all that work for him. So he's a very powerful bottom lane. Pantheon's a champion that I don't see banned too often, but he's really good in Dominion because he's got his stun, he has his ultimate, which lets him move around, and he also has, a lot of durability with his with his shield and with his, his hit points. Now looking at the picks that we have here, we have Point Defense going for Ryze, Jax, Zillion, Kassadin, and Shen. Kassadin likely a pick because he wasn't banned, and if you don't ban Kassadin, you take him so that the other team doesn't get him, so you don't have to deal with him. His mobility is extremely high. His burst is extremely high. He's got a silence. He's got a slow. He can just sort of come out of nowhere and kill you. Jax is a really good champion. Ryze is a very good bottom lane. But one of the things that people might ask about is why is Zillion here? And Zillion is here because Pooters is here. And for those of you that don't know about Pooters, Pooters does this really high-speed back-capping Zillion stuff that really, and he really keeps the enemy team having to deal with that constantly. So he's constantly forcing whatever team they're against to pull someone out of a fight or away from a fight or away from a potential cap in order to have to deal with that. And he's also got his ultimate, which is really good to kind of just drop in on fights and things like that. A curious thing to note about Point Defense is this is not their typical lineup. They're missing MMKH, I think. And Point Defense's record's actually extremely good. In tournament broadcast games from NESL and from Dominate Dominion, Point Defense has a record of 42 wins and only 5 losses.
Wow.
So they have a win rate of 89-point-something%. It's absolutely amazing.
These guys are the Counter Logic Gaming of the Dominion world.
These guys are definitely the top dogs in any given tournament that they enter. They had 9 consecutive first place finishes in NESL. NESL's number 18 through 26.
All the Dominions. Wow.
These are the guys. So I'm really excited to be able to cast them. Over on the other team, we have Vayne, Kale, LeBlanc, Soraka, and Jarvan the Fourth for Team LithP. Vayne is sort of like a diet Poppy, like a diet caffeine-free version of Poppy. LeBlanc has very good burst. Soraka has a very good bottom lane because of her sustain. Her ult being able to reach the entire map is also a great boon to any team. J4's ultimate is always damned handy to have. He's got that going for him. He's also got an airborne. Kale's the only thing that I'm kind of raising my eyebrow at because while Kale does have that ultimate, she's a little squishy sometimes, which makes me a little wary of a team like Point Defenses that's very well versed in Dominion, being able to pick off Kale at the right time to make her very ineffective.
All right, guys. So there you go. Analysis by Gander, one of the Dominion Dominate. What are you, anyways? What's your official title with Dominion Dominate?
I'm just like I'm a guy. I'm a caster.
I'm just a guy.
I do
So humble.
events for them. I don't have a direct affiliation. I'm not like an admin or anything like that on the Dominate Dominion site. I just heard they were doing a Dominion tournament once, and I'm like, hey man, can I cast that? I think that would be really cool. And they're like, yeah, totally. Now I'm here in. I have a new chair now. It's really cool, and I'm
Oh,
casting.
so nice.
I'm not used to it being so tall. It's really awkward kind of right now.
You'll get used to it, Mr. Tall Man. Guys, Point Defense up against Lith. Game number 1 of the Dominion Dominate Dominion tournaments. Now running every Saturday. I do believe Feedski is going to make this thing a thing to rival the National ESL. And now with the new spectator client tools that we're going to get next patch, yeah, I think it's a perfect time to brush up on your Dominion and get into this scene. See what these guys can offer. And the first thing I notice, 4 revives for Point Defense.
I will talk about revives real quick while I reload my league because it loaded in like the corner of my screen and
Yeah,
I
it does
can't
that.
find it out.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's doing that. But the revive that you see on Point Defense's team, revive is something that's come up a lot in Dominion play because it does 2 different things. It allows you to, one, recover from a great mistake that you've made immediately, and the second thing that it can do is enable you to sort of capitalize on a mistake that the enemy team has made. Uh, so, like, let's say you lose a team fight very narrowly, you can pop that revive, you can get right back up there immediately, and sort of be able to sort of save things. Or, as I said, on the flip side of that, let's say you have an exchange that's very very even. Let's both teams have 3 people, everyone dies. Your team can come right back up into it and capitalize on that while they're still waiting to resurrect.
There you go, guys. The knowledge being dropped, but we have now loaded in. Say hello to game number 1. Sauron playing that Rise here for Point Defense. Two Tuts. He's on that Jax. Pooters on the Zillion. Expect great things out of him. Zaber Z on our Cassidon. And Necrogen going to be representing that Shen. But their opponents here on the red team, Lil Will on Team Lith. He must be the captain because that's just too hilarious. Clash going to be rocking this. Kale. We do got Ken, Kyer, Moth on LeBlanc, Dan Reborn on AP Soraka, I hope to God, and J4 being rocked here by the Dim Inferum. We're going to get this game rolling 500 apiece. The battle has started. The racers are now rushing for that top, and you can see it is going to be a race. Now, for this top, very important fight, and this is where those revives are going to come in very handy. Somebody starts slipping up, you lose a few guys, not a problem. Speed, revive, you get up there, you make sure you get that cap, because this is a very, very important first fight, but it does look like Lith is going to be in good order. They got 3 people up here against the 2 from Point Defense, and now it is going to be a little bit of a standoff, because you can see Rise down south. He's actually going to be going in for the 2 cap on the bottom, although it does look like Lith has already now figured that part out because they only did send 3 top. So it is going to be a 3-3, a 2-2. Zillion with the back cap, and though Pooters, he's making his way over here. Does Kale figure it out? He is going to be heading to that direction, but we might even have a kill up top. First blood, maybe. Ken Karamov not looking so good, but we got the exhaust coming down. It will be the reverse. Jarvan 4 taking the kill on top of Shen, and now we're going to be going to town as Zillion still not going to be able to back cap that. He does kind of do a little bit of a loop-to-loop, so he might be able to put the pressure there onto the drill, but it is looking like top point victory for Lith.
I'm still working to get my client back. It's still stuck in the corner of the
Yeah,
screen.
no problem. Rise actually takes out Vayne, but she does revive. She's going to be able to defend that point. No problem. You can see Jack's already back up top with his revive. He actually lands that kill. Necrogan not looking so hot, but J4 could be in danger of dying. We don't have a level 6 on that Castlin, so he's not going to be able to cement the deal, but he will be able to take out LeBlanc. No problem. And again, Pooters with this back cap and putting up this pressure. Clash could not go top. Has to jump into here, but he is going to get double teamed. Ken Kyer Moth is going to be enough to take him down. Now it is going to be a blue cap top, so that it looks like the Revive War, they did win, and you got to give it to Pooters for really relieving the pressure up there. Now unfortunately, I'm not too sure they can able to defend it. We do now have level 6 on Cassidy. He could Rift Walk over. I'm not too sure he's paying attention too much. Two Tut's going to come in here, but he's 1 on 3. And there's the Necrogen ultimate. He's going to get up here, no problem. The Clash now here as well. Cassidy going to be coming in, trying to get a little bit of deeps. Clash tanking the tower. Necrogen will go down to the Ignite, and Cassidy is going to have to run away, leaving Jax to go 1 on 5. I'm not too sure he's going to have the stuff to take it down, and no, he will not. But during all this, Rise has now actually taken out bottom. Vayne just not able to keep up with him, as Pooters is going to be going again for the drill. Even though we have lost this top, this is what Pooters' job is. It's like an invisible Twitch on steroids. He just runs all over this map, putting up this pressure. Look at this. Dan Reborn has to come down here to deal with this, but he's going to get caught out by Jax. This could be easily killed. The bomb's going off. AP Soraka cannot handle it. And now this could be a point right here for point defense.
What's the timestamp that you're at?
424, 425, 426.
All right, cool. I am back in the game, and I'm on the same time sync as you.
Excellent.
All right, we got Pooters here now getting chased away from that point that he had approached. Jax backing off before that engagement begins. And we have Shen up top end of the map, Necrogan retaking the windmill.
Yeah, and that's what you were talking about with Pooters. He can just keep those backtracks and really just keep up that pressure, which means that, yeah, Necrogen is going to get that windmill, even though they had to take back that drill, and they're getting 4-capped right now.
Yes, they are. Down at the bottom end of the map there, Vayne was left alone to defend against 2 people, and she was not able to do so. Caston came down and cleaned her up and enabled point defense to take that point.
Point defense takes the point. I like how that sounds. Necrogen going in for the taunt on top of Dan Reborn is not going to be able to land the kill, but they are still defending very easily. And look at that. The ping comes down for Pooters. He's going to head on over there as Jax does drop. But the longer they can tie up forces up here, the lower they can get him, means the better chance that Pooters is going to have. He might be able to take that quest, although it is going to be a 2-to-1 race. Rise still doing work down here, keeping Lil Will, making sure he does not go for Pooters. And can he actually cap this before the top windmill?
Yes.
He gets the quest.
He can. And that's why you take Revive, ladies and gentlemen, is because in moments like that where you get defeated handily at one point, and you have one of your defenders tied up, Sauron keeping one of his opponents back away from that point. If LithP had a Revive on their team, they would have been able to go up and they would have been able to interrupt that before Pooters was able to get a full cap. And now Pooters getting caught at that point. He's got the ultimate going, and he's back up. But how long is he going to be able to lay this before Caston's able to show up?
Well, he's doing a good job. It has now gone neutral, however, and that looked like a cleanse, but I'm not too sure it was. But however, it is going to be J4 dropping this point up top, which means we should be able to get a double cap. If Cassidy can keep LeBlanc away, oh my goodness, chunking her down. She's going to drop. Yeah, well, she'll drop now.
A preemptive drop call. You see in the future. It's all right.
It's her passive. I forgot about it. No problem.
You got Dan Reborn getting pushed away by Zabers and Necrogan up top as they attempt to take Windmill. And you got Sauron. Important to note, look at Sauron down here at the bottom end of the map. He's just chilling in the bushes. He's just waiting, leaving that point looking exposed so that he can capitalize on whoever tries to go down there. You can scissor in behind them, keep them from being able to walk back to their summoner platform to heal.
Well, yeah, there he goes. He goes to defend it, no problem. J4 heading up top, however, he sees himself a free point, but Jax hot on his heels. He's not going to let this go, and bam, drops in. Here comes the Necrogan ult as well. 2-on-1, not exactly in tower range, but the exhaust comes out, and he is not going anywhere except the morgue.
Yes, Dan Reborn trying to push that creep wave, but with Jax and Shen up there, it's going to get batted back in the opposite direction. Cassidy picking up the double kill down at the bottom point, and Pooter's looking for a place to get in at, but he's not quite finding it. They're doing a very good job of defending their singular point, but I guess that's the position you get into when you have one point. You're very easily able to commit all of your team to defending it.
5 defend 1 point. The math works out fantastic.
It does.
Unfortunately, however, the math, this isn't golf. The lower your score you get, the worse you're doing. And the score right now is 433 to 157 as we see Jax insta-give Vayne in this bottom lane.
Chasing her almost, within range of the laser, but able to not do that. Pooter's getting caught by Doom Inferum up here, and he's going to revive him. He's going to go ahead and he's going to speed on out of there. That's the Pooters, ladies and gentlemen. He just moves so fast. But Dan Reborn getting caught by Zabers and Toodles there. You see that damage from that cast-in, and Toodles. Necrogan coming down with the taunt, saving Zabers. Get the ultimate, but not quite as effective as they'd hoped for. Pooters trying to capture that point, trying to get them that miracle 5th point. LeBlanc down here, though, able to neutral and maybe can get the full cap on this before Caston shows up.
426 to 100 and counting. Let's take a quick look at some of these items. Zillion, it's not a cleanse because he has himself a Quicksilver Sash. That's exactly why I kind of failed at that point. But Pooters, he's going to pop that out right now, and he's just going to throw down that slow on top of Ken Kyer and get himself on out of there. Unfortunately, he does look like he is going to be running into a little bit of trouble, but they don't even give him the time of day. No, Pooters is not worth the time of day. We want that point, and point is what they're going to get, but unfortunately it does look like Lil Will down south is not enjoying himself 1 versus 3. He will be going down, and that means that this bottom point will again be lost for LithP.
And you can see LithP trying to find a place to move out on the map, but you have point defense in absolute shark mode right now, moving back and forth, constantly patrolling for any place where LithP is trying to move out, and Necrogan up at the top end of the map now, defending 1 versus 3 up there, but the entire rest of his team is on the bottom half of the map. All he has to do is delay this, however, because they still have a point lead.
A huge point lead. Yeah, it's 419 to 47 and counting. We're about 9.5 minutes into this game, ladies and gentlemen. It does look like that bottom point has actually neutralized itself. Sauron, he's on the case. He's going to be able to grab that back. Not a problem. And the windmill yet again falling under LithP control, but it is still a 4-cap situation.
Zabers and Lil Will down at the bottom, and you had LeBlanc trying to pick on Toodles and Pooters up there, but Jax very dangerous. Pooters very good at getting away. Clash pulling off a point to try and help with Toodles in the middle. No, Sauron coming up from the bottom, get that rune prison down, unloading on Clash, and the clock's ticking down.
Good game, well played. You have about 4,000 games of Dominion on us. It's a little hard to kind of crack what Point Defense has made for themselves. As you did say, multiple NESL championships and a very ridiculous win rate. It just went up +1 on this game against LithP.
Yes, brings them up to a total of 43 wins throughout their tournament history so far.
Pretty ridiculous. Pretty ridiculous.
And sorry about the little crash there that I had at the beginning, guys. For some reason, League likes to pop up in the bottom right corner of my screen and get stuck there where I can't move it. I have to change my monitor resolution to get it free.
Here's a hint to it. When 10 seconds comes around, don't click anything until it loads in. Because I notice if you click something while it's loading, it'll actually go into your quarters. So you'll notice on mine, I'll just go to the static page and then I'll bring it back after it starts loading because I won't touch a thing. So that might help you out. But hey, good game, well played. 10.5 minutes in. Glad you're able to catch up with me there. And wow, very overwhelming win, 405 to 0.